So here we are. The moment they finally made their move. They hired a professional, a private investigator with an impeccable 20-year career and a reputation for unearthing the darkest secrets. They paid a fortune, the kind of money that passes in unmarked envelopes. Their directive was simple. Find out who you really are. Expose your weaknesses, your scandals, anything that could explain why you make them so deeply uncomfortable. But the plan shattered. 3 weeks later, the investigator returned, not with a damning file, but with a bewildered expression. Sitting at that polished mahogany table, facing your enemies, they spoke words that would forever echo in that room. I've spent 2 decades exposing politicians, catching cheaters, and uncovering frauds. But this one is different. What I found defies all logic. A tense silence fell. Your enemies leaned in, hungry for the dirt they had paid for. The investigator's hand, slightly trembling, pulled out a single sheet of paper. They spoke a truth that would haunt their clients forever. The person you're investigating isn't who you think they are. They're not even close. What I found isn't criminal or scandalous. It's something else entirely. It's like looking at someone who shouldn't exist according to the rules we all follow. That was the moment the fear began. They realized they hadn't hired someone to expose you. They had hired someone who ended up exposing them. The investigator didn't find your secrets. They found your power. And worse, they found proof that every accusation and every rumor they had ever spread about you was nothing more than a confession. Their hidden truths had been bouncing back, reflected in the very lies they told. Let me tell you what that investigator found. It started with a routine background check. Birth records, school transcripts, employment history, and a deep dive into social media. They ran your name through criminal databases, financial records, and court documents, searching for patterns of deception or hidden connections. This investigator had software that could recover deleted posts from 2008 and trace old IP addresses. But your paper trail was impossibly clean. Too clean. So they dug deeper, interviewing old teachers, former employers, and people from your past. They were looking for the stories, the incidents that would reveal your true face. They needed someone to say, "Oh yeah, I remember when they did that terrible thing." But no one did. Instead, they heard a different story. "Yeah, I remember them. They were different. Quiet but intense. Never caused problems, but you always felt like they saw everything. They helped me once when nobody else would. Never asked for credit, and just disappeared after. Strange thing is, everyone who tried to hurt them ended up destroying themselves, not through revenge, but through their own karma accelerating." This didn't add up. When someone seems this clean, they're usually hiding something massive. So the investigator went darker, checking the deep web, underground networks, and shadow databases. They ran your name through systems that aren't supposed to exist, pulling strings and accessing records that required special clearance. What they found made them stop breathing, not because of what was there, but because of what wasn't. There were gaps, not deleted information, but spaces where information should exist, but simply didn't. Time periods where you should appear in systems but don't, and moments where security cameras mysteriously went dark as you walked by. The investigator found bizarre official reports with your name on them. A therapist's notes read, "This patient sees things others don't. I'm not qualified for this." A former boss's evaluation read, "Exemplary employee, but something about them changes the entire office dynamic. Productivity up 40% when they're here. 3 people quit because they said they felt exposed." A police report noted that your testimony as a witness led to solving 5 unrelated cold cases, with the officer writing, "Can't explain how they knew." Then came the patterns. Every person who had tried to destroy you saw their life fall apart within 6 months. The investigator checked. You never retaliated or sought revenge. Yet every single person who came for you ended up exposing themselves. Their secrets leaked, their schemes backfired, and their lies unraveled on their own. It was as if the universe had marked them for destruction the moment they marked you. The investigator started connecting dots that shouldn't connect. You were in 5 different cities during major unexplained events, power outages that only affected buildings where